Good morning, students. So today I'm going to handle the subject of signals and systems. Specifically, the topic is on Z transform under the AICT Prerna scheme for preparing SC/ST students for higher education GATE exam. Okay. So myself Deepa, I'm going to handle the session on Z transform. So you might have studied this. Okay. Okay. So here the topic is on Z transform, and the prerequisite for these Z transform, we should know what is the continuous time signal and the discrete time signal. So we know the definition for the continuous time signal. It is defined for all values of t, and the discrete time, it is defined for the particular time. Okay, instant of time. So here today we are going to see what is Z transform and what are the poles and zeros, and the main important thing is the region of convergence and the Z transform pairs and the properties. Okay, so here why we go for the Z transform, as I mentioned, we should know before going to the Z transform, we should have the prerequisite knowledge of the Laplace transform and the Fourier transform, right? So here the Laplace transform is an extension of the continuous time Fourier transform, that to be represented in the S-plane, right? Whereas the Z transform to be represented in an Z-plane. Okay, so this can be applied to a broader class of signals. Even you might have studied few portions of Z transform in the mathematics, like Fourier series, Fourier transform, Laplace transform, Z transform in your mathematics 3 paper. Okay, so here this topic Z transform, which is purely the discrete time counterpart of that Laplace transform. So in this, it provides usually the discrete time Fourier transform provides the frequency domain representation of discrete time signals and the linear time invariant systems. So here mainly we go for that convergence. And this Fourier transform does not converge on all sequences. So this it's good for analysis, and it is for few portions this is been applied for the convergence. But in case of the discrete time signals applying to the Z transform, we can do the convergence operations. Okay, so here the basic definition, the formula for the Z transform. As I mentioned, the continuous time signal to be represented in the x of t representation. You might have studied in that signals as unit 1 and the classification of signals. In case of the discrete time signal, we will be representing in an x of n, that we have studied. But in case of the Z transform of the sequence x of n, you will be defining the x of z. So x of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n. Okay, so now we are going to derive the Fourier transform expression. So let us substitute z equal to e power j omega. That means you are substituting here e power j omega. So in what will happen? X summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity. So instead of this z, I am going to make it as e power j omega and to the power n. So now, sorry, it is minus n. So now we'll be making it as x of e power j omega equal to n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e power minus j omega n. Okay, so this is the Fourier transform expression. So coming to that Z transform, we should know the formula of this x of z equal to the sequence x of n z power minus n, where n varies from minus infinity to infinity, and we do the summation operation, right? So here this is the expression. Again we have written it, but how it is to be, every time we'll be multiplying x of minus infinity, then z power minus infinity, like that we'll have to write it. And we have some factors, then I'll be applying x of 0, z power minus 0. So I'll be writing z power 0 as 1. So I'll write generally x of 0 and x of 1. In terms of plus 1, how can I write x of 1, z power minus 1. So up to this we can continue up to an infinity. So x of infinity z power minus infinity, right? So in this condition, you see they have written it, this plus with dot goes up to minus infinity and goes here it as plus infinity. They have written only the few portions, x of 0, here x of 1, z power minus 1. See here, it is x of minus 1, negative sign, like x of n, you are applying n value with minus 1. In that condition, your z power will all terms of this will be in positive powers, right? Here it is z power minus 1, here it is z power minus 2, whereas here it is x power minus 2 z power 2. Okay, so now we can classify. So like this you can set it. This is like a right hand sequence and this is like a left hand sequence. So in this right hand sequence, x of 0, it can start with x of 0. Then it starts with here x of 0. So x of 1 is z power minus 1. This is a right hand sequence and this is a left hand sequence, right? So, and generally we call these two as a two-sided sequence. Two-sided sequence. It includes both the right hand side sequence and the left hand side sequence. Then we are going to define the definition called the transfer function. So here in Laplace transform, we'll study the Laplace transform of the output by the input. The same thing here, we have used the notation called x of n. So x of n in this impulse function will represent h of z equal to the same x of z. Here they have represented for the sequence of h of n, h of z summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity, h of n z power minus n. The next thing, here a problem. Either you can take it as x of z, it's not an issue now. So now the question is h of z has been given with the value as 2, 3, 5, 2. If it is not denoted with the index of 0, so considering this as the 0, right? So what I can do, so this is my question. You have to find x of z and they have given a sequence like x of n. So you know the formula, summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity, x of n is z power minus n, but here it is n value 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what I can do, n equal to 0 to 3, x of n z power minus n, like that we can proceed. Okay, this is first time I am writing all those formulas. If you are familiar, you can write directly. See here x of 0, so x of 0 z power 0 becomes 1, so you leave that. So next is x of 1 z power minus 1, then the other thing is x of 2 z power minus 2 plus x of 3 z power minus 3. Okay, so you have to apply up to 3, consider this as 3, and now you have to apply this x of 0 value as 2 plus x of 1 value as 3. So 3 into z power minus 1, then x of 2 as 5. So 5 into z power minus 2. Then x of 3 value as 2, so 2 into z power minus 3, right? So this is the final answer. Sorry, you see here 2 plus 3 z power minus 1 plus 5 z power minus 2 plus 2 z power minus 3. If the problem has been given like that, you can directly start considering this as the zero question. If suppose the question has been asked like this, so that means this is 0, 1, 2 question, and here it is minus 1, here it is minus 2. So it is, the question has been given like this. You have to write it for a 200 sequence, but here you consider this with starting with 0 with the right hand side sequence. You see all z power values will be in minus sign, and corresponding sign of 2, 3, 5, 2 all are in positive, so all will be given in a positive sign. Now you consider the question has been asked like that, so you know that x of 0 as 0, so no use in writing. Then x of 1 is also 0, so x of minus 1 is also 0. So what I can do, x of minus 2, I'm applying for the second problem. X of minus 2, z power minus n, n is minus 2, so z power, it becomes 2 plus the right hand side, here it is x of 2 z power minus 2. This is the question given. But earlier, what they have solved is for considering this as 0 and they have proceeded, you got 1 minus z power minus 4. But I am applying for two-sided sequence. How you get this x of minus 2 value as 1? So I will writing here 1 into z power 2 plus x of 2. X of 2 is minus 1. So let me erase it. Minus 1 z power minus 2. So the answer for this two-sided sequence, so you will got minus z power factor, and here the plus z power factor. So consider this is not there. Z square minus z power minus 2. Okay, so this is, I am going to write it for the two-sided sequence. The next thing, we are going to see the plane. So in this plane you see the same formula, so everywhere we'll write the formula. You have to remember x of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n z power minus n, and they will be going to represent in a real and the imaginary term. So how? This is the Fourier transform. So here it will be in a exponential format. So you know e power j theta is equal to cos theta plus j sin theta, or e power j omega is cos omega plus j sin omega, right? So once you apply, it will be like an angular moment, then z equal to e power minus j omega representation. We are equating this z with e power j omega. Then z equal to, then at this condition we have an angular frequency of omega, right? So this Fourier transform is used to evaluate the z transform on a unit circle. So this unit circle means the value will be 1. So considering this as the z plane, you have a real and the imaginary, and you have applied a waveform. Then the same concept, you will be following a z equal to e power minus j omega with a circle. The same periodic property. Periodic means one cycle is keep on repeating for a same time period. Then we say that it is a periodic property of the Fourier transform. It obeys the law. Okay, so coming to that, region of convergence. So this is very important thing. So in that they will be giving a set of value. So this set of value for which the z transform converges. That means the value should be the modulus. We are finding that x of z value should be less than infinity. Then we call it as a region of convergence. How it will be? We'll be seeing it. So here you are applying the modulus of that problem. So summation n equal to minus infinity infinity, applying a modulus x of n, and the z power minus n value should be less than infinite. So it is centered on an origin and it consists of a set of rings. Okay, so how it will be? So it may be in any order. See the value of z, the region, that means the region in the complex plane for which the sum exists or converges is called the region of existence or more common, we call it as region of convergence in X of Z. So here you see you have a imaginary and the real term. The circle will be inside quoted, colored, and you see the real image, real and the imaginary part of the Z plane, and it is focused outside the unit circle. Then it is like a circular rings. You have two rings, between you have a shading. So we have various sequences. At what sequence you will be getting inside the unit circle, at what sequence you are getting outside the unit circle, and it's like a two rings. Okay, so coming to that region of convergence, the same thing, how it is going to proceed with less than infinite. Okay, so here, yes, X of Z, the same equation has been repeated again, and it should be an annual ring centered on the origin. So here it may be in the three condition, as I said in the previous diagram. One thing it should be shaded inside, one thing it should be shaded outside, or between the two rings, right? So the same thing, the stable function. The stable system, when you say it requires that Fourier transform is uniformly convergent, and you have another factor. See here, the fact Fourier transform is used to evaluate an Z transform on a unit circle, that we shown it in that I have shown it in a previous slide. So here it requires the Z transform to include that unit circle, right? So here you see here, this is a right hand side sequence. So why I am saying it as a right hand side sequence? So the question itself, it has given u of n. So in this u of n is nothing but your step signal, where u of n equal to 1 for n greater than or equal to 0, right? So your n value is 0. For your u of n, the value will be 1, and for n greater than 0, like 1 to infinite. So this big, starting from here to up to infinite, you will be getting some right hand side sequences. So this we call it as a right hand side sequence. So for this, they have taken it as an example as x of n equal to a power n u of n. So you see the problem now. General formula is x of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity a power n. Instead of that, what they have given, x of n z power minus n, right? So the question x of n is a power n u of n. So now what I am going to do is a power n to be retained as such, and z power minus n, I told that u of n will be mentioned it as 1 for n greater than or equal to 0. So these are the standard signals we have used, and n less than 0. So this n less than 0 means up from minus infinity to minus 1, the value will be 0. So we don't have a left hand side sequence. So what happens from 0 to infinity, right? So 0 to infinity. So they have changed the limit here. Is you see, minus infinity to infinity. They have written a question, what is there in x of n, they have written as such. But here they have made it as n equal to 0 to infinity, because this minus infinity to minus 1 to minus infinity, the value is 0. So a power n is z power minus n. Now we are applying every time a power 0, or you can take it common, a is z power minus 1 to the power n. Then you can apply. Okay, this you leave it. Okay, now you check these two conditions. You see here n equal to 0 to infinity. So what will happen? A power 0, sorry, a into z power minus 1. So a into z power minus 1 to the power 0. So anything a power 0 has become 1, right? Next is a z power minus 1 to the power 1. Then a into z power minus 1 to the power 2. Okay, so it will be like 1 plus, it continues. Okay, so 1 plus a z power minus 1 plus a z power minus 1 to the power 2. Okay, so like a z power minus 1 to the power 3 up to infinite. Okay, so this previous thing we will have studied about the geometric series like 1 plus a square, we up to infinite. Okay, I'll be mentioning it a dot. We'll be writing 1 by 1 minus a in the series, right? So this is the geometric series formula you have to remember. Then you, what is the value of a here? Because I'm going to equate this. So here this becomes 1 minus 1 by 1 minus a z inverse. That's what they have written in here. 1 by 1 minus a z inverse. But now what they have made it, they have arranged in an order like 1 by 1 minus a divided by z. So what happens? The numerator, it goes here, and the same time in the denominator they will be writing like z minus a. So z by z minus a. So in this alone I'm taking denominator part, and I'm going to take z minus a. Definitely that will be my z value will be greater than a. Okay, so here you see they have taken it like this, a z inverse, and they have made it as a positive. So a z inverse is less than 1 minus a z inverse. So definitely this will be less than. So what happens? A by z is less than 1. Then z is greater than a. Like that they have reframed. So my question is x of n equal to a power n u of n. I'll be getting my x of z expression as x of z equal to 1 by 1 minus a z inverse, or in terms of positive z, I can write it as z by z minus a. Okay, I am familiar in writing like 1 by 1 minus a z inverse. And every time when you solve the problem, you have to write it with the what is the z value will be greater than a or less than a, that we have to identify. That is the point, we call it as a convergence. That is, we are finding the value is less than infinite. So here we are going to equate it with 1. Then this becomes z value will be greater than a. So now you see, this is what written it again one more time. I'll be familiar in writing this like 1 by a z inverse. So this is to be reframed as z by z minus a. So modulus of z is greater than a, right? So now we have mentioned that my z value will be greater than a. So here we have two parts like real and imaginary. And if you consider this as 3, then this z value will be greater than 3. So I will be marking a circle with 3. Circle radius with 3, then we are shading it outside, right? The unit circle will be inside. For example, if suppose my z value is greater than 0.5, what happens? Okay, we can't predict because I have taken a general variable like a power n u of n. So it may be like z is greater than 0.5. Like that also we can take, even z is less than 2, like that. Okay, so here you see here the circle. Again I have drawn it for 2 conditions. I have drawn. See, my z value is greater than 0.5. See, my circle here, it is 3 and the unit circle is inner side. But now my circle is 0.5, my unit circle is outer. So now how I can say which is my stable? Okay, see, according to that problem, we have to prefer either this condition or this condition. If my a value is exactly 1, what will happen? This will come here. Okay, according to the problem, that variable what we have given, we have to draw that region of convergence. How these are to be the shaded portion. Okay, outside the circle we have shaded. So at what point we are going to draw this circle, that we are going to identify. So for this right hand side sequence, the question is like a power n u of n. In general, you'll be getting x of z as z by z minus a, or 1 by 1 minus a z inverse, and the region of convergence will be greater than a. If it is a with 0.5 value, the circle will be like this. If it is a with greater than 1, then the circle will be like this. So we have to identify which one is stable. Okay, let me explain later. Now we go for a left hand side sequence. So earlier case, it is like a power n u of n. So we know u of n will be applicable 1 for n greater than or equal to 0, right? So now when I can make it, so u of minus n minus 1. So if I put n value as 0, if I put n value as 0, what will happen? U of minus 1. So u of minus 1 value will be 0, right? If I put n equal to minus 1, then u of value will be, n is minus 1, so minus of minus will become plus, 1 of minus 1 will become 0. So you see 1, u of 0 value will be 1. Then n equal to minus 2. What will happen? Minus 2 means minus of minus 2 minus 1. So u of 1 value will become 1. Okay. Is it right? So you see here in the 0, we don't have any points, but they have solved for a power 1. So, but now what I am explaining is, so this u power 0, we don't have in 0, we have only 0 value. Then u power minus 1 will become 1, u power minus 2 will become n minus 2, minus 3, all will become 1 up to minus infinity. So my question is minus a power n u of minus n minus 1. Okay, so this concept is clear, right? So when you apply n value as 0, in that condition it starts from minus 1. When you apply infinite, what will happen? Like the, because why I am explaining, we are going to apply in the limits. See here, summation x of z equal to x of z equal to summation, general formula, n equal to minus infinity to infinite x of n z power minus n, right? So here the x of n is minus, so they have written previously, so minus summation n equal to minus infinity infinity a power n u of minus n minus 1 z power minus n, right? The next thing, I am going to remove this u of factor. So what I will do is n equal to minus infinity to minus 1, they will be preferring a of n z power minus n. Previously we have a minus sign. Okay, so now you see, they to make it as a positive one, they have made it n equal to minus infinity minus 1 to be changed as 1 to infinite a power minus n, then z power n. So the powers as of sign has been changed in the power. So a power minus n z power n. So next time you take a and z as common, then what they'll do? See, they have included 0, a power 0. Okay, so coming to this, so they want in terms of a power 0, see, they have to include n equal to 0 to infinity. So what happened? Z power 0, consider only z is there. So z power n will become 0. So what happens? Z power n will become 0. So z power 0 will become 1. So what I am going to do is 1 minus, I am going to include n equal to 0. Starting from n equal to 0 to infinite. So in that condition, I will be getting first option as 1 minus of 1 plus a z inverse plus, like that it keeps on going, right? Then this minus this 1 and 1 gets cancelled. For that they have included 1 minus summation n equal to 0 to infinity a power minus n z power n. Is it clear, students? Am I going fast? Yes, students, is my voice is audible?
Yes,
Student, yeah. Okay. So here 1 minus summation to make it as a formal thing n equal to 0 to infinity. At the same time, the value should not be changed from n equal to 1 to infinity. So this 1 and n, applying n equal to 0, it gets cancelled. So they have written like this. Then only we can easily write the geometric series formula like 1 plus a plus a square means 1 by 1 minus a. Okay. So leave these two things. Then you proceed with here. See here. Considering this portion alone, you see A inverse Z power n. So what happens? 1 plus A inverse Z plus 1, sorry, A inverse Z power 2, like that. Okay, so it keeps on going. So this we have a negative sign. So 1 minus 1 by 1 minus A inverse Z. So in that condition, what they do, once after doing the subtractions, we'll be getting Z by Z minus A. Or you can keep 1 by 1 minus A inverse. Then here you have 1. So after this reformation, you will be getting that Z by Z minus A. The same thing they have written. So A inverse Z value is less than 1. And what happened? A inverse divide by, okay. Now I am making this with Z by A is less than 1. This is power 1. Then what happens? Z is less than A. Okay, so in previous case, it is like A Z inverse is less than 1. Then A by Z is less than 1. Then A less than Z. So in terms of Z, we'll be writing Z is A is less than Z. So Z is greater than A. So I'll be having only 3 problems. In that first thing, right hand side sequence, your Z value is greater than A, and the formula for that is 1 by 1 minus A inverse. Right? So previously I'll be showing it. So here Z by, okay, here 1 by 1 minus A Z inverse, Z by Z minus A. Here Z is greater than. For your left hand sequence, 1 minus the same answer. Z by Z minus A is fine, but there it will be getting a less sign. Okay. That is for your left hand side sequence. So in that left hand side sequence, again we have 2 conditions. So we have written Z by Z minus A and Z is less than A. So see here, if it is 3 to be circled inside, not the outside, because my Z value is less than A, so we are shading inside the circle, and if the value has 1 unit circle here. Now what happens? Considering Z as 0.5, then the circle will be like this, right? See, this is my unit circle, and we have a 0.5 circle, then a circle will be like this based on the problem. So which one will stable? We are going to identify that. Okay, so how we are going to see the stable representation? So here as a rational function, x of z is equal to p of z by q of z. So here we call it as the zeros and poles. Okay, so the values of z such that your x of z will be 0 in case of the zeros, and the poles in the denominator we have a z x of z value will be infinite. Okay, so now you see the right hand side sequences a power n z power n. So we have a denominator numerator portion we don't have, so this becomes 0, and the poles means z equal to a. So that making a circle. If my circle A will become 1, it is in marking in the unit circle. If it is 0.1, it will be less than the unit circle. If it is 3, it is greater than the unit circle. So we are shading outside the circle. So your ROC is bounded by the pole and it is the exterior of a circle. So pole in the sense, the denominator we call it as a pole, z minus a. For example, z minus 3. That means z equal to 3, that a value is 3. So you are going to circle with a radius of 3 and shading outside. So it is bounded by the pole and it is exterior for the right hand side sequence. And your modulus of z is greater than a. For a left-hand side sequence, the same concept z by z minus a and it is less than a. So here we have a real and imaginary. So in zeros, we have zeros and the pole we have z equal to a. Then the circle to be drawn for that circle with the a and it is shaded inside. It is interior to the circle. Okay, whenever that left hand side sequence, it comes interior and the modulus of z value will be less than a. Now coming to the two-sided, two right hand side sequence. See, u of n and u of n. It's a right hand side sequence and here it is in a positive 1 by 2 power n, but here it is minus 1 by 3 power n. So this generally I can say a power n u of n. So you no need to solve this problem. See here, a power n u of n. Similarly, this is my a power n u of n, but the value for a is minus 1 by 3. So once a power n u of n, I will be getting the answer as z by z minus a. Okay, so that means z by z minus 1 by 2. Whereas here z by z minus a value is minus 1 by 3. So at that point we will be getting z plus 1 by 3. So what will happen to the region of convergence? My modulus of z will be greater than a. So my a value is 1 by 2 here. Here my modulus of z will be greater than 1 by 3, minus 1 by 3, right? Say the same thing. Z by z minus 1 by 2. Here z plus 1 by 3. So once you draw the circle, we have a 2z, z minus 1 by 2, all those things that is coming under zeros, and denominator we have a poles. Zero representation to be marked in a circle, pole to be marked in a cross. You see, z plus 1 by 3. So the poles calculation, it will be minus 1 by 3. For this, what is 1 by 2? So how I can draw the circle? So whenever I set the right hand side sequence, what will be my a? It is to be shaded outside. That is the condition for a single sequence like a power n u of n. But we have two poles, right? So you see this, it is, everything is greater than. So 1 by 3 instance 0.33. Minus 0.33 and this is like 0.5, right? So now you see the circle, so bounded by poles, and as I mentioned, it is greater than a. So I'll be shading as the poles with 1 by 2. Okay. So here you see two-sided sequence. So this is my right-hand side sequence. In the previously I have seen minus 1 by 3 n is nothing but a power n u of n. This is like minus a power n u of minus n minus 1. Okay, so this how I'll write z divided by z minus a. Here minus z by z minus a, both are same. Here the modulus of z will be greater than a, and for this condition the modulus of z will be less than a. Okay, so here you see z is greater than means you will be getting minus 1 by 3 greater, and it is less than means you have to shade inside the circle. So here the value will be 1 by 2. Okay, so coming to that, you see here So you have poles like z equal to 12 one pole and 0 one pole. So for this, it is in the center of the origin. For this, it is z equal to 1 by 12. We have another pole like 1 divided by 12 and the zeros. So poles in the denominator, it is like minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2. So your 1 by 3 has been greater. After the circle 1 by 3, you have to be greater because it is a right hand side sequence and the z value will be less than 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 means 0.5. So you put a 0.5 circle, inside that is the shaded portion. So it is bounded by poles and we call it as a ring. Okay. So here you see we have seen three cases. So far it's like a right hand side sequence, left hand side sequence, two right hand side sequence we have seen. We can solve for two left hand side and one right hand side plus one left hand side. So the thing, it is greater than a, it is means z. Here for this left hand side sequence, the modulus value will be less than. Here we are making outside the circle, here we are making inside the circle. For both the conditions, if right hand side sequence is greater, will be shading outside, right? And the left hand side sequence will be lesser. In that condition, we will be shading inside. Okay, so this becomes a ring. Next, we go for a finite sequence. Finite means, see here, the question given is x of n equal to a power n with limited. If I take my n value as 5, so your n 5 minus 1, 0 to 4 is the finite sequence. If it is an infinite, it is like going up to infinite value. So now you see, again you are applying for this z transform x of z. So x of n as a power n and they have given a limit like 0 to n minus 1, a power n z power minus n. Taking a z as common to power n, then applying every time. So here they have given for a finite. If it is for infinite, I can blindly say 1 by 1 minus a z inverse in general, or 1 by 1 minus a. But here it is 1 minus a z inverse to the power n divided by 1 minus a z inverse. Okay. So now they have made it as like z power like 1 by a z power n minus 1. This is again reframed and they have written with the positive powers of z power n minus a power n divided by z minus a. So in this condition, in this new, we have zeros and here we have a poles. Okay, so what will happen? We have n number of zeros because n power z power 1, a power 1, like that we have to calculate, and the poles will be, they have marked it like this. So here the region of convergence value is between 0 to infinite for the finite sequences. So the values between these regions, so it is always stable. So when we say the stable, it should be having some finite value between 0 to infinite. Okay, so now it's the conclusion of that. I'll be showing all those things. A ring or disk in the z plane centered at the origin. Yes, the Fourier transform in the ROC includes unit circle and it cannot include any poles. Then finite duration means it should avoid the z value and this z equal to infinite value. If it is right-handed sequence, you will be circling outward and is up to infinite. And the left hand side sequence, we are shading inside the circle, so it moves up to 0. Okay, so now we are coming to that Z transform pairs. So in this Z transform pairs, so we know that the impulse function del of n is 1. Then the same region of convergence we are going to remember here. So here it is like here for del n, it is the x of z value will be 1. So every time you have to apply the formula as x of z equal to summation n equal to minus infinite to infinite x of n z power minus n. This is the formula. So this x of n is del of n. What will happen del of n? X of 0, only the x of 0 value will be 1. So z power 0 value will be 1, right? X of 1 for the del function, it is del of 0, it becomes 1. So your x of z value will be 1 and all z comes for this region of convergence. So what happens? Del of n minus m. So when? So this is my impulse function only for del d equal to 1 value for 0. Rest others are zeros, right? Okay, now coming to this n minus m. So n minus 3, for example, n minus 3. So what happens when only my condition del of 0 value will become 1. So when this del of n minus m will become 0, if my n is 3 and by default my m is 3, 3 minus 3 becomes 0. So in that condition, how I'll write del of 0 z power 0. Then del of 1 z power minus 1. Then del of 2 z power. So when I am substituting my n value as 3, at that condition I will be getting del as 0. So in that condition, I'll be getting z power minus 3. So that is written here as 1 by z power m. If it is 2, then 2 minus 2 will become 0. So z power 2. So they have written as instead of like this, z power minus m. So in that condition, my z value will not be equal to 0 for this region of convergence. See, unit step function, they have given it as 1 by 1 minus z inverse. Because in previous case, we have seen a problem like a power n u of n. But here they have mentioned it as a z inverse. Here the z has been not, a has been not given. So my value will be like 1 minus z power minus 1. So that is written in the positive sense, z by z minus 1. So it is a right-handed sequence. By default, we generally see z is greater than a, and here it is z is greater than 1. Similarly, the same problem we have seen as a power n u of n. So z by z minus a, and modulus of z is greater than a. So this is a generic formula. It's a very important formula to be used in this entire z transform as an example. So you have to know a power n u of n means z by z minus a, where z is greater than a. Now what happens? I am multiplying n. So you are multiplying n means it's a ramp function, right? So the thing I'll be making here, it is like z by z minus 1. So here we are going to make it as a square. Okay. So z by z minus 1 the square. So it is again a right hand side sequence. So there is no change. So here it is a greater sign with 1. Next we are adding n plus 1. So in that condition, you will be applying both the sides. If it is n, z by z minus 1 the whole square. If it is n plus 1, z square by z minus 1 the whole square. So here if we are adding, the powers gets increased. So again, it's a right hand side sequence, it will be greater. Okay. So now you see here that n square, it's like a differentiation. Okay. So n square z into, see here, n into u power n is n z minus 1 the whole square. So again here it is z into z plus 1 divided by z minus 1. So these are the basic terms. Wherever this u of n comes, definitely it is greater. You check it. If it is n, a power n u of n. So we know a power n u of n is z by z minus a. Right? Every time I have to go. So z by z minus a. What will happen? This two has combined, right? A power n is z minus a. N in the sense z minus a the whole square with n more a to be multiplied. Then again it's the right hand side sequence. The next n plus 1. See here, n plus 1 is z square by z minus 1. What about a power n? You check it, you have to replace it. So z square by z minus a the square. Then n square, an u of n. You have found it for n square u of n. What will happen for a power n? Z by z minus a to be multiplied. So here you see z a to be then a to be added. Here a. So the thing you have to remember this. Then based on these three formula we can do for all the type of problems. So whenever the u of n sequence comes, definitely my ROC will be greater, whether it may be a or 1. Then next problem is exponential of e power minus ant. So a power n we know z by z minus a. E power means z by exponential of what is this? They have written it. Then they have gone only for cos n, because I'm not focusing on this part, because every side we have u of n, it's a right hand sequence, so everywhere it is greater. Okay, so now cos omega n. So this cos omega n, it's the lengthy derivation that you might have studied in the Z transform. So now I just explaining about the formula, how you can remember. So cos om n. Om n in the sense, in the denominator we have z square minus 2 cos z cos om n plus 1, and we have the first two factors at that numerator portion. In the sin om n is the denominator, we have all the same thing, and in that numerator we'll have only z sin om n. Okay, then you are adding a power n in with the cos om n, right? So wherever my cos om n comes, we are going to add a. So z square minus 2az cos om n plus here the constant as a, and here it is za cos om. Okay, then it is sin square, again this is za sin om n. Here the denominator the same as like 2az cos om and a square. So these two formulas are very important. Based on that, when you multiply with a power n, we can easily derive it. Okay. So here, now coming to this, I'll be showing it. Del of n is all z. Del of n minus m is nothing but your z power minus m. So it is not equal to 0. For u of n, it is greater. Wherever that u of n comes, it is greater. If you multiply with a power n, it is modulus of z will be greater. Okay. So based on these functions, now you tell me which is which will be mapping. Okay, this is the question asked. Here the list of x of n has been given and list of ROC has been given. Yes, students, you can answer for this. So what I have taught is u of n. So u of n value, it's a power n u of n, we have seen z by z minus a, and the modulus of z value will be greater than a, right? So if it is u of n alone, then what will happen? This will become z by z minus 1 and a will become 1. So modulus of z will be greater than 1, right? So for this u of n, it is u of n greater than 1, and for minus u of minus n minus 1, ultimately this will become z minus less than 1. So I have solved for two answers. What will be the final option? See, the second option will be B. So we have two options. Second option as B is correct. So I'll be neglecting these two options. Then fourth option will be D, the same. Now you tell me whether what will be the del of n value, ROC? Yes, I have shown it in the previous slide. Yes, students. So here I have shown it for your del of n, it is all Z, and del of n minus m, it is Z is not equal to 0 for that particular portion. See here, del of n means it is for all Z. Here if I say del of 2 value will not be equal to 0 except others will be 0. So now tell mapping, you tell me del of n will be?
All is the
All Z will be for del of n, right? And the last option del of n will become C. So what will be the correct option? A, C, B, D?
Option C, ma'am.
Option C. Option C?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
See here. See, your U of n is greater than 1, right? It is clear. Minus U of minus n is less than 1, right? Okay. Option is C. Very good, Pa. So, okay, next question. So, the next question, they have given it in a difference equation. So, students, I am not going to teach you that inverse is a transform. So, by default, so here, if an x of z has been given, summation n equal to, again, I am writing the formula x of n z power minus n, right? So if x of n questions is given, you will be finding x of z. What will happen? X of z is there. You have to find it for x of n, right? So now the question is, you have to find the transfer function h of z equal to y of z by x of z for the causal system, described by the difference equation. So they have given an equation like y of n minus 3y of n minus 1 plus 4y of n minus 2. So x of n plus x of n minus 3. So now you see, if my x of n is the question, I'll be getting my x of z as the z transform. If it is y of n, I'll be writing it as y of z. So now what will happen? X of n minus 1. Okay, students, can you able to hear me? X of n in z transform will write x of z. If it is y of n, you will be writing it as y of z. So here x of n minus 1. So what I know? I know x of n is x of z. And this for minus 1, I will be representing with minus 1. Z power minus 1 x of z. Similarly, y of n minus 2. Take it this. So y of n means we know it is y of z. And it is like z power minus 2. Z power minus 2 y of z. Okay, it's like a time shifting operation. I'll be explaining at the back. So for this problem, you check it. I had made is y of n as y of z. So y of n minus 1. Instead of this, I have shown x of n minus 1 as z power minus 1 x of z. If it is y of n minus 1, you'll be writing z power minus 1 y of z. Okay, so here it is right y of z minus 3 z inverse y of z. Okay, plus 4 will be writing y of n minus 2. So z power minus 2 y of z. Similarly, I'll be writing for x of n at the top, x of z, excuse me, x of z plus z power minus 3 x of z. Okay, so we have written all those things. Now we are taking y of z as common in the left hand side. So we'll be getting 1 minus 3z inverse plus 4z power minus 2 in the bracket y of z. Similarly, the right hand side, you are taking x of z as common, then you will be getting 1 plus z power minus 3. So the transfer function, as I mentioned, the output function divided by the input. So your y of z divided by x of z. So 1 plus z power minus 3 at the numerator, and the 1 minus 3 z power minus 1 plus 4 z power minus 2 will be at the denominator portion. So you can leave it as such, or you can change it to the positive sign. Z power 3, then what will happen? You have to multiply, see, taking common with z power 3, then you are multiplying with 1, you will be getting z power 3 plus 1. Like that. The bottom, you will be taking z power 3 means you will be multiplying this with z power 3 minus 3, like that, minus 3z power 2 in terms, then later you will be cancelling it off. Okay, so now as a conclusion, how I can say, so you have 7 sequences. One thing, it's a right hand side sequence. I'll be telling it as modulus of z greater than a. If it is less than, my modulus of z will be less than b. A or B, it's fine. Two-sided, it may be like A greater or B greater. We will be writing two conditions, right? Based on the poles. Okay, in case of finite duration. So these things are infinite duration. How to shade the circles we have seen. But in case of finite duration, right hand side sequence, see here, entire z plane except z equal to 0. Here the entire z plane except z equal to infinite, we are taking it off. Then two-sided, consider these two, except 0 and infinite, we'll be writing two-sided. If it is a delta function or the unit sample function, then it defines for the entire z plane. That's what I have given in the match the following all z. Okay, so this is the overall what we have seen is shown here, and these are the things how the finite duration, how the infinite duration signals will be. If it is greater a, I'll be shading it outside. Okay, if it is less than, I'll be shading inside the circle. If it is between R2 and R1, okay, so it is between means you will be making as an inner ring. Then these are the factors like causal, anti-causal, two-sided, except z plane with 0 for the right hand side sequence. For left hand side sequence, it is except infinite. But for two-sided, we have both the conditions z and 0, z and infinite. Except that, we call it as a two-sided. Now coming to that, quickly I run through the properties of that z transform. So here you see z transform x of n is applying z transform will be getting x of z. Y of n will be getting y of z. So here we are having an ax of n plus by of n. That means x of n will become x of z, y of n will become y of z. It's the linearity property of that individual weights will be given as the total weights. It satisfies the superposition principle. Then shift. So this we have seen it. As I mentioned, y of, now you can tell me students, y of n minus 1, how we can write it as an z transform? For y of n, we will be writing y of z. For y of n minus 1, how you will be writing? Yes, any answers? So x of n to be written it as x of z. X of n minus 1, how I can write? this x of n as x of z minus 1 representation, how I can do? Z power? Yes, students, it is minus n or plus n? Sorry, minus 1 or plus 1? Yes, you can say the answers. It is right or wrong, it's not an issue. Yes?
Minus 1, ma'am.
Yes, it's very good. It is minus 1. Consider if it is plus 1, what happens? See, if it is plus 1, what happens? It is z power 1. Okay. If it is y of n plus 1, z power 1, y of n. If it is 4, z power 4, y of z. Now you tell me x of n plus n naught. If my n is n naught as 2, then z power 2 x of z. If it is minus 2, z power minus 2 x of z. That is the shifting property I have explained previously. Okay. So now it's a multiplication or an exponential sequence. See, x of n, we'll be writing it as x of z. This is the problem, a power n x of z. So we know x of n is equal to x of z. And we separately know a power n u of n. This is the value of x of n. So we'll be getting 1 by 1 minus a z inverse or z by z minus, sorry, a inverse z by z minus a. So now the question is, we are not going to make it as u of n, here a n u of n. So x of a inverse z. In the x position, they have asked it a inverse z. Okay. So next thing is the differentiation. So you'll be getting x of n as x of z. Once you are differentiating n into x of n, so the formula will be like minus z dx of z by dz. Okay. So conjugation in the sense, we'll be applying the transpose x of n. Here it is like x strict z powers. Okay. Then reversal x of n. So we have seen the time scaling, time shifting operation, the same thing. If you apply a negative sign in minus n, what will happen? X of z power minus 1. Then real and imaginary parts. It's like your even and odd function. You are going to do it. Real is 1 by 2 x of z. Then conjugate x star z power star. Then imaginary will be getting 1 by 2j x of z minus x star of z power star. Initial value theorem and the final value theorem are very important in that z transform. When x of n equal to 0, for n less than 0, so in that condition your x of n value will be, how you are going to represent your x of z. If I say x of n, x of z will be the z transform function. But when x of n equal to 0, your means x of 0, limit z turns to infinity x of z. Similarly, the poles final value theorem has been given, limit k turns to infinity y of k equal to limit z turns to 1 z power minus 1 y of z. So the convolution, in the sense you are going to multiply two signals x of n and y of n. X of n will give x of z, y of n will give y of z. Once you multiply, you'll be getting x of z and y of z. Okay, so if you have the formula like x of n, y of n is the formula for that convolution sequence. X of n to be multiplied with y of n. Here it is turns from k equal to minus infinity to infinity x of k y of n minus k. So like that they have applied a shifting operations, and you have to individually apply x of k equal to minus infinity to infinity and n equal to minus infinity to infinity y of n minus k. So here you see the operation y of n minus 1 means z power minus 1 y of z. but here it is x of y of n minus k. So they have taken previous front z power minus k, then they have written it y of n z power minus n. The next step, x of k will become x of z, y of k will become y of z. See here, up to this we don't have only one factor. Then next thing, once you multiply, you will be getting x of k alone, but we can't say x of n as x of z. So the thing here, the shifting property minus k to be written as z power minus k. So they have taken it front and they have given us x of n to n minus infinity to infinity, x of n z power minus n. This is the general term, but here they have used y of n, so they will be writing y of z. But here instead of n they have given as x of k. So x of k is z power minus k. So this becomes x of z. So that is the reason in the previous slide they have shown. Generally they have shown when you multiply these two, you will be getting x of z and y of z. So how it comes is the explanation here. Here we are going to apply the time shifting property. Okay, so now you see the h of n sequence and the input sequences. So this is your h of n. I'll be writing it as h of z. So that means 1 plus 2 z power minus 1 minus z power minus 3, sorry, 2 plus z power minus 3. Right? Similarly, for x, it is like 1 plus z power minus 1 plus 2 z power minus 2 plus 3 z power minus 3, 2 z power minus 4, like that we'll be writing. But suppose if they give an order like this with a 0 position here, then I'll be writing 2 plus 2 z power minus 1, like left hand side 1 z power 1, like 2 z power 2 at this side, and here it is 1 z power minus 2 at this right hand side. Okay, so what happens, you are multiplying two sequences h of z. So we know h of z equal to y of z by x of z, but the question what they have given is x of z and h of z. Now these two becomes multiplication, so they have taken it as a convolution. Now they have multiplying these two factors, one with all those terms, then 2z inverse plus 2z power minus 2, like that they have done it 1 3 3 inverses. Okay, okay, let me tell it once. I'll be writing this 1 2 minus 1 1 and 1 1 2 1. Few portions I have taken. Okay, then multiplying these two ones, so it is like 1 2 minus 1 1, then multiplying with 2. Okay, sorry, 1 2 minus 1 1, then it is multiplied with 2 2 4 minus 2 2. Okay, so once you do like this, I hope you have started like this. Once you do the matrix, you will be getting 1, then adding this 2 plus 1, you will be getting 3, then minus 1 2 2 4 plus 3. So once you see, you will be getting an answer like this. Previously you have seen, then 4 minus 1, and we have one more number because I have not written it here. Okay, I will be solving it once. Shift. Okay, so now take a problem like this, doing a pointer. So it's easy calculation, you no need to multiply all those factors. Let me keep it as such. I'll be writing the h value as 1 2 minus 1 1. So once I'll write it here 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1. The next thing, I'm going to multiply all these numbers with 2. So 2 2 4, how much, 2 4 4 2 2. Okay, next -1, -1, -2, -1, -2, -2, -1, -1. Then 1 will be writing 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay. Okay, there's no other point. No other colors, I think so. It's okay. So now you make it like the line, put a line like this, and you do a diagonal cutting. Kindly adjust with this. Okay, this is the fourth line. See now 1, the other two factors added. So 1, 3. The next term is 2 plus 2, 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. And next is 1 plus 4, 5. 6. 6 minus 1, 5. Okay. The next thing 2, 4. 4 to minus 2. Then 3. So like that we have to do. Like this we have to do a calculation. So see here. So how much of values? So here we have factors like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to be multiplied with 4 terms, right? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here you will be getting the maximum term as the n minus 1 terms. Okay, so let me quickly run through this. Show present as blue. Okay, now I'll be showing it a problem like this. I'll be showing an important problem. So here the region of the convergence of the unit step function. If it is an u of n, definitely what will happen? That u of n value will be greater than 1, right? So I was keep on repeating the same thing. See here, they have given an x of z as some equation, and they have asked you to find h of n with the del function has been given. So 2 del of n minus 3. So in that condition, when it will become 0, once I substitute, my n value will be 3. That condition alone. So in that condition, how I can write 2 into z power minus 3. So that is the statement del of n minus k equal to z power minus m. Okay, so 2 into z power minus 3 to be multiplied with x of z. That's what we have seen, h of z into x of z. The next question, here they have given z by z minus 0.2. Okay, so it is reflecting z by z minus a. Okay, and the question they have given is if the region of convergence is less than 0.2. So what will happen if z by z minus a and modulus of z is greater than a, means we can say it is like a power n u of n, but it is less than 0.2. So what will happen? Minus, you see, minus 0.2 power n u of minus n minus 1. So the basic concept you have to remember is a power n u of n, the x of z will be z by z minus a, and region of convergence will be greater than a. If it is minus a power n u of minus n minus 1, what will happen? My modulus of z will be less than a. Okay, the same thing, it's the very basic concept. See, 5 by 6 u of n means my ROC will be greater than 5 by 6. If it is minus a power n u of minus n, definitely this will be less than. See here, less than 6 by 5. Once you compare, which is greater, it should be greater than 5 by 6, less than 6 by 5. So how you write 5 by 6, z value will be less than 6.5 and 5 by 6. Okay, between these we are making a circle. Okay, so the question has been given x1 plus x2 and 1 by 3 is this this is the problem reflecting here. So here they have given a question and they have asked for ROC, but now they have given an ROC. What will be x1 of n minus x2 of n? Okay, see here x1 of n, x2 of n, how it will be. They have solved it. Okay, but again the same problem, a power n u of n minus a power n u of minus n minus 1. A power n means 1 by 3 greater, and here it is 1 by 2 lesser. What will happen? Lesser 1 by 2, greater 1 by 3. So 1 by 3, greater 1 by 2. So everything deals with that a power n u of n formula. See again the same condition, 1 by 3 power n minus 1 by 2 power n u of n. 1 by 3 power n is a power n, it is greater than 1 by 3, and it is 1 by 2 power n is lesser. See, lesser because it is with a negative sign. It's again an a power 1 by 2 power n u of n with negative sign, so it is lesser. So the option is between 1 by 2 less than z less than minus 3. We have three functions. Okay. See here 1 by 3 power n minus 1 by 3 power n, they have splitted it out. 1 by modulus of n they have given. So one time it is positive sign, the another time with negative sign. So a power n minus a power minus n u of n minus a power n u of n. So the three problems we have given it, and here it is the time reversal. If x of n is given, x of n to be converted as x of z, then x of minus n will become x of minus z minus n will become z inverse. So here x of n question has been given as 0.5 plus j 0.25. It's a time reversal property. So what will happen? Z power minus 1. So that means 1 divided by z. 0.5 plus j 0.25. Okay. And one more inverse function. Let me tell you that 1 second. Okay. See here, in this problem we have seen, we have multiplied up to y of z equal to h of z x of n, and they are taking again a inverse operation by replacing that z factor with n. So you see, when I will be getting z with del of n plus 1. Okay, if it is 1, I can write del of n. If it is z, I can write del of n plus 1. Then this becomes z of minus 1 means del of n minus 1. Minus 2 you keep as such, z power minus 2, you apply the property. Formulas del of n minus m becomes z power minus m. If it is del of n plus m, then what will happen? Okay. So that's all about the yes, students, that's all about this. Thank you. Thank you for your patience listening. Yes, thank you.